going on here? Who the hell are you?
Hello, Spooky Fam. I'm Mercy Desdemona. This is my Chamber of Horrors, and tonight's picture is one of my favorite cheesy films. I'm talking cheesy effects, cheesy acting, cheesy music, cheesy camera angles, like supreme cheese. It is amazing. Winterbeast. Before we get into the picture, if you like horror, true crime, weird theories, and you're basically the weird kid turned weird adult, consider subscribing to the channel and following me on all social medias. We got some exciting things coming up, especially when I don't have to freeze. It'd be nice. And if you see me like bouncing around, I'm just trying to stay warm. I don't have a heater in the room I'm using right now. So yeah, mind your business. Anyway, to set the tone of this, I'm just going to show you the opening scene just so you can get into the mindsets, the mind frame, where you need to be to totally soak in the glorious shitfest of Winterbeast. So, editing Mercy, roll the clip here.
Yeah.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
As you can see, his acting is A+. Totally believable. The complete reaction that I would expect from somebody seeing somebody play with their guts and seeing weird creatures and things. I totally love how he was. Honestly though, I think that is how I would react, because not a lot of things faze me. I'd be so awful at that. Be like, Mercy, aliens are coming down and like the world's ending. Be like, okay, whatever. But I mean, he's supposed to be scared in this movie. The effects are cheesy, but I completely love the weird little claymation monsters that we see throughout the film, or even the monsters in general, and the devil guy near the end there. The effects are amazingly cheesy, but I give props to them for mixing that in there, because it kind of makes the movie like a special kind of cheese, and I totally dig it. So we have the head ranger guy with the stash. I forget his name, but then we get to my favorite character, which is Mr. Sheldon. Mr. Sheldon runs the Wild Goose Lodge. Now, why is Mr. Sheldon my favorite? And if you want to know who Mr. Sheldon is, he's the guy at the beginning of the video asking me who the hell I am. Well, Mr. Sheldon, I think, is the best actor in this film. And even though his lines are kind of robotic and weird, you know, and the acting's not that great, when you watch this film, this man was such a believable psycho. Like, I don't know what he did in real life or anything like that, but the man was so good at playing a creep. And as this review goes on, you'll see what I mean. I think that the man who played Mr. Sheldon was perfect. And I think his acting kind of made this film one of those where, yes, it's shitty, but it's also good to watch. Just because he really gives me the creepy heebie-jeebies. Now, the Wild Goose Lodge is pretty much as if you created a mountain lodge directly in your grandma's favorite thrift store. Because none of the decor matches. And it is tacky as all get out. But hey, this is the famous lodge. It's been in Mr. Sheldon's family for years. And throughout the movie, our ranger guy is trying to talk to Mr. Sheldon, urging him to tell people to stay away from the mountain. Don't go on the trails. And of course, Mr. Sheldon doesn't want to do that because, hey, the lodge just opened. I need to make some money. You know, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, he just thinks that the Rangers are just being crazy. You crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no weird demons out there trying to eat people. No, not at all. We see a lovely little dialogue between the Ranger and Mr. Sheldon, and I'm going to show it to you now because the camera angles are completely insane, but I can't really describe it well, so see it for yourself. Editing Mercy, roll the clip.
Is there a problem?
Well, actually, yes, there is. One of our men has been missing since early this afternoon.
Which one?
A fellow by the name of Tello. He came in from Boston to help us out with the new trail markers.
Should have known he was from the city. The night of my reopening, he goes AWOL. Probably with some
No. You don't understand. He came out to help us put up the new trail markers, the Chikura Trail, and we think he got lost. He got turned around up there, and we don't know where he is.
Then your hands are full. So what are you doing here?
Well, look, I mean, could you put up a notice for the hikers to stay off the mountain for a while?
Well, I think that might be a bit premature, don't you? Let's see what happens with this Tello thing. After all, he hasn't been out for 24 hours yet. Give this Tello at least until the morning. It's important that we keep a cool head during these little occurrences.
Yeah, and after...
Okay, so, throughout the movie, there are a lot of scenes like that when they're having conversations. They will literally, like, film them, and then close up, and then film them, and then close up, and it goes back and forth. So I'm not going to show you every scene like that, but that's pretty much how a lot of the dialogue goes, and I find it hilarious. I don't know about you, but I find it hilarious. We even witness a little bit of a bar fight here at the Wild Goose Lodge because this man is trying to start a conversation, but apparently he ain't very good at it. Can you tell I've watched this movie way too much? Probably. My favorite is when they also go up to the mountain and they see the totem. Now, it's really cool. It's cheesy effects. It's obvious that it's like plastic and all that kind of stuff, but you gotta give props to it. Okay, give props where it's due. The cheese is awesome. So fitting. But my favorite part is when the Rangers just like...
I've seen this before. I've seen it in a dream. A dream? It was just like this. I saw it in a dream. It was just like this.
I think we better get the hell out of here.
Perkins, what about...
Keeps up with like ancient things and all that stuff. So he's there trying to take pictures for photo proof so they can show Mr. Sheldon, so Mr. Sheldon will probably help the people. Well, he's trying to convince this guy, and this is like one of the best dialogues in the film, so...
Charlie, you don't think I'm crazy, do you? But I mean, I really dreamt it. But I'm not saying I'm psychic either, because I don't believe in that stuff. Well?
Well, what?
Well, what do you think?
I believe you. Yeah.
You believe me? You're crazy.
I don't understand. Do you believe me? Well, then you're nuts. Okay, dude, like, what do you want? Just let the man take his photos. So, we keep following around, we get this weird hunch, and then we get to this really weird scene, and my favorite part is the lady in the middle. Because her expressions say it all. I don't know if they were pulling, like, a gag on this lady, and she didn't know what was up, but like this guy brings out the wooden box and they're supposed to be talking about this ancient tooth, but it looks like there's a dick in the box, and like the chick's face is like, are you really gonna ignore that he has a dick in the box? Like, and her facial expression, like you could see like she's looking out, she's like looking at everybody like, I really don't want to be here right now, this is really freaking weird. I'll show you the scene because again, awesome. It's just hilarious, her expression.
It could just be the tooth from any large animal, or maybe even somebody made it.
Yeah, I thought of that, but I took it over to Jim Reed, you know, the taxidermist, and he said that, yes, it is definitely the tooth of some large animal. But he didn't know what. He said maybe that it was a walrus, but he was still unsure. And that's when I knew that the thing was genuine. Because Burning Wolf He's an honest man, and I don't think he lied.
I'm surprised he...
So then we get to, you know, the point where they're trying to find out what's wrong with Mr. Sheldon. And let me tell you something, there's a lot wrong with Mr. Sheldon. Mr. Sheldon, forget left field. He's just completely on a different planet. But my favorite part is the reaction to Mr. Sheldon. So our photographer man was trying to sneak into like an office to find the truth about Mr. Sheldon, and he witnesses Mr. Sheldon being weird with some dead bodies. But instead of like really freaking out where you think somebody would, he literally just kind of mouths like something like "what the fuck" or something like that. It's just the most chill reaction to some guy dancing around. And I'm gonna show you my favorite part is when Mr. Sheldon puts on the clown mask and he's like dancing around like a weirdo, and it turns out like he's the reason why the demons are coming. Like the humans are all sacrifices because everyone at the Wild Goose Lodge is now these weird cheesy corpses. You know, he's just like dancing around and all this kind of stuff. So like, I tell you, this guy is like I would believe this man would literally do this to people. That is how good this man did this creepy role. Okay? So, they're going to confront him. He melts his head off. And they start going to fight the demons. And I forgot. There's another scene where like these two ladies go hiking and they find a suitcase. And they get dragged away, but they like grab onto the suitcase as if it's gonna save them from being dragged away from monsters. It's just superb cheese. Anyway, they go up there, they're trying to defeat the monsters and stuff like that, and more cheese ensues. And, you know, that is the tale of the Winterbeast. Now, I am planning a Spooky Fam watch party sometime, and we are going to be watching 2 movies. One of them is probably going to be Winterbeast, and another one will be Spooky Fam's choice. So keep up with me on my social medias for when that's going to happen. We're going to just chill out and watch some movies, because why not? And yeah, I rate this one 10 out of 10. Because it's just, the music's cheese, the acting's cheese, the monsters are cheese, the devil's cheese. It's all cheese, and cheese is good. So, with that, I am going to go warm the hell up because I am freezing, and pretty soon I'm going to be a frozen beast. Get it? Because it's winter and I'm freezing. I am totally not funny right now. Bye!
What can the matter be, Johnny, so long at the fair?